I have never seen the Republican Party so unified as it is right now.
40% is not some tiny group.
Former President Donald Trump fresh off another primary victory after a win last night in South Carolina, but the race for the Republican nomination continues. Queen City News is your local election headquarters, and despite the loss in her home state, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley is not dropping out of the race and has promised to stay in at least through Super Tuesday. She argues that she's got the support and, more importantly, the money to keep going. Here's a look at the final numbers statewide in South Carolina, showing Trump beating Haley by 20 points. And while overall he had a definite cushion over his former UN ambassador, one county in our area had a much narrower margin than others. Queen City News reporter Savannah Rudisell is here with a look at the numbers. Savannah?
Yeah, Derek, voters in York County were more evenly divided than the rest of South Carolina. It wasn't quite the pocket of support that Haley was counting on, but it was slightly more favorable to her than in some other regions. With 100% of precincts now reporting, we can confirm that former President Donald Trump beat former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley by 17 percentage points. Trump had about 58% of the vote, while Haley took home 41%. Now, Haley is once again staying in this fight, while Trump looks to take his winning streak onto Michigan and the rest of the Super Tuesday states.
South Carolina, thank you very much. Go home, get rest. We have a lot of work ahead of us.
I'm not giving up this fight when a majority of Americans disapprove of both Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
Former President Donald Trump comes away with just under 60% of South Carolina's Republican primary vote. Despite the loss, Haley says she's encouraged by the result, saying 40% is not a small group of voters.
We can't afford 4 more years of Biden's failures or Trump's lack of focus.
She gave a big thank you to one of her steadfast supporters, Congressman Ralph Norman.
Ralph has had pressure on him from every side that he needed to not support me and that he needed to step away from me. And he always said, there's no way in hell.
Norman did not speak at Haley's event, but Senators Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott stood behind Trump.
This is the most qualified man to be president of the United States.
Is South Carolina Trump country?
And both candidates are on their way to Michigan, where the Republican primary is set for February 27th. Trump and Haley will visit multiple Super Tuesday states ahead of March 5th. Derek?
And Savannah, there was another point from this race last night. Many outlets declared Trump the victor just mere seconds after the polls closed at 7 o'clock. And Trump even seemed surprised that it happened so fast when he gave his victory speech. Why did it happen so quick?
Derek, that's a great question. The Associated Press based its 7 o'clock race call on an analysis of something they call AP VoteCast. It's a comprehensive survey of Republican South Carolina primary voters, providing a detailed snapshot of the electorate. Basically, who voted, what issues they care about, how they feel about the candidates, and why they voted the way they did. The survey confirms the findings of pre-election day polls, showing Trump far outpaced Haley statewide.
He was winning across all age groups, winning every region of the state, winning in the early vote and also winning in the election day vote. There were among the only bright spots for Haley in this race were that she was winning among the small amount of Democrats who are voting in the Republican primary and people with postgraduate degrees. This was a call that we made at poll close, not only based on AP VoteCast, but taking into account the entirety of the data points in the race, which showed that it confirmed pre-election polling and that Mr. Trump has won every other primary contest by wide margins.
Declaring a winner early based on the results of that survey and before election officials count all the votes is really not all that uncommon in a lopsided contest like this. In New Hampshire, the race was called for Trump within a minute of the polls closing for a very similar reason. Derek?
Thank you, Savannah. And Queen City News is your local election headquarters. Stick with us online at qcnews.com. There you can find more stories and exact numbers down for each county in our viewing area. And be sure to download the Queen City News app on the Apple App Store and also Google Play.